The Mets lose 2 out of 3 over in St. Louis. I got a lot of thoughts to talk about this one, but before we get into that, welcome into the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast. My name is TJ Labby. Alongside me is Brendan Kaiser, my buddy,
Good
to talk
evening,
about this
everybody.
series. But before we get into our thoughts and opinions, let's run the intro.
Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York Town.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast. As I said in the open, my buddy Brendan Kaiser is along with me for the ride of this series recap, and it's difficult to not want to. It's difficult to not want to throw something at the wall after this series.
That's totally believable. I understand
It-
that. Trust me, I'm going through the same thing.
It's just it's just, man. Going into this series, I was hoping for the Mets to break out on the road. I was hoping for Bichette to have some production. I was hoping to maybe pull out of this with a sweep because the Cardinals are not that good of a team. But yet, here we are. The Mets lose 2 out of 3 over in St. Louis. It was just so many thoughts and emotions running through me. The case of this is that as much as I want to yell and scream and throw things and break things, I have to remain professional. And I also have to realize in the small brain that I have, 6 games in, we are into this season. So let's break down what's happened in this game. Without further ado, let's just get into the breakdown and let's just talk about what happened throughout these first 3 games. Here in game 1, the Mets took a 4-2 win over the Cardinals. In game 1, Clay Holmes was efficient, very efficient in his 5 2/3 innings of work. He gave up only 2 earned runs. One of them was a home run off of Nolan Gorman. So 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, a home run given up. Tobias Myers then came in for an inning and a third of work. With 3 strikeouts, he was very efficient out of the pen. Brooks Raley also efficient, 1 inning, giving up only 1 hit. And then Devin Williams with a strikeout to finish the game to earn the save for the Mets. The hitting stat lines in this game: Lindor 1 for 3 with a walk. Well, we have a lot to talk about with Lindor in game 3. I can assure you that. Soto 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 walks. Bo Bichette 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. This was by far his best game of the series. Polanco 2 for 5. Beatty 1 for 5 with a strikeout and a run scored. Jared Young went 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Luis Robert Jr. pinch running for him also had an at bat. He went 0 for 1. Marcus Semien, who's been off to a wretched start to the season, went 0 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Carson Bench went 2 for 4 with a run, and Francisco Alvarez went 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. The scoring in this game, pretty simple. Bo Bichette with an RBI ground out in the first. Alec Burleson then tied it up with an RBI single in the bottom half of the first. Then Bichette with an RBI single again in the top of the fifth. Jared Young with an RBI double in the top of the sixth. Nolan Gorman with a solo shot in the bottom of the sixth. And that fourth run came off a bases loaded walk for Juan Soto. So very efficient in this game. Clay Holmes with the win. Kyle Leahy and then Devin Williams picking up the save. So really not much to write home about in game 1 of this series. It was just the only issue.
Your average Mets game? Your average Mets game?
Yeah, average Mets game. The only issue for this game was the team runners in scoring position box along with the team left on base box. 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position, which is a theme. It is going to be a theme in this series. They left 11 runners on base in this game alone. So that is not good. So let's move on to last night, game 2, where the Mets lost 3-0 against the Cardinals. Andre Palante won the game. He was efficient against the Mets in his 5 innings of work, giving up just 3 hits, while Kodai Senga actually had a good start last night. His line last night, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. That is exactly what you want to see from Kodai Senga, minus the 2 runs. He was topping off his fastball to 99 miles an hour. Always a good sign to see from Senga. The only issue is the guy who relieved him, which I have had enough of since the Pittsburgh series, and we're only 6 games in. That man's name is Richard Lovelady. 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. That run that he gave up was a home run to Ramon Urias in the bottom of the 7th. Why is he still on the team? Just DFA him, get him out of here, and just bring Craig Kimbrell up at this point, man.
It's because the Mets have a special relationship with Richard Lovelady, apparently. That's really all it is.
Apparently.
They just have a special relationship with Richard Lovelady where they just want him to play.
Exactly. They just yet I just cannot stand his guts.
Trust me, I would be screaming too.
Believe me. So, hitting stat lines for this game, as I said, the Mets only were able to tally 3 hits in game 2 of this series. Lindor 0 for 3 with a walk. Soto 2 for 4 with a strikeout. Bichette 0 for 3 with a walk. Robert Jr. 0 for 3 with a walk. Jared Young 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Mark Vientos 0 for 2. Pinch hitting was Brett Brady, who went 0 for 2. Marcus Semien 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Carson Bench 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Luis Torrens 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Francisco Alvarez 0 for 1 in the pitch hitting spot. Again, the Mets lost 3-0, 3 hits only. Andre Palante got the win for the Cardinals, Senga with the loss, and then Riley O'Brien the save for the St. Louis Cardinals. So I was already aggravated after last night's game. Now, let's head into the mother lode of what was today's game. Oh,
we watched this live.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. I'm not Frank the Tank. I actually know how to condense my feelings and actually talk through facts and understand what I'm saying instead of what Frank.
No, I get it.
Jeez, whatever he says. But anyways, the Mets lost in extra innings 2-1 against the Cardinals. The winning pitcher was Gordon Graceffo for the Cardinals. Tobias Myers got the loss, even though he pitched great. The whole bullpen pitched great this entire series. They just fantastic job out of the bullpen from everyone involved. But anyways, here's the pitching stat line. Freddie Peralta today, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. A great bounce back start for Freddie Peralta. The only issue is he got the same run support that Jacob deGrom did. Oscar Braziban, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Brooks Raley, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. Luke Weaver, 1 inning, 1 strikeout. Devin Williams, 1 inning, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And then Tobias Myers, unfortunately, pulling the loss because he unfortunately has an inept offense. 1 2/3, 1 hit, 1 run. It was unearned because it was the Manfred Ghost Runner rule and a walk and a strikeout. Then let's go to the hitting. I'm going to go scorched earth on this lineup in this game. 5 hits. Lindor, 0 for 4 with a walk and apparently a lost brain cell. Juan Soto, 1 for 5 with a run, a RBI and a strikeout. He had an RBI. That was a home run back in the top of the sixth that gave the Mets the
Yeah, it was 6th inning for Soto.
Bichette 1 for 5. Polanco 1 for 4. Jared Young pinch running had one recorded at bat. It was a walk. Luis Robert Jr. 1 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. Mark Vientos 1 for 2. Brett Beatty 0 for 3 at pinch hitting. Marcus Semien 0 for 4 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Francisco Alvarez 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Tyrone Taylor 0 for 2. And then Carson Bench 0 for 2 with a strikeout. But as I said before, team runners in scoring position. Last night it was 0 for 4 with 6 men left on base. What did the Mets do today? 0 for 11 with 11 runners left on base.
Oh my God.
Including bases loaded in the top of the 11th inning with 1 out.
I'm sorry.
1 out. Meanwhile, the Mets this series scored 1 run in the span of 23 innings. In the past 2 games, 1 run in 23 innings.
I'm sorry.
So now I'd like to address the lost brain cell that Francisco Lindor had today.
Oh, the one where he made an error when he should have thrown the first, even though he thought we had.
So he forgets how many. So all right, let's begin with this. So he forgets how many outs there are. He gets the force out at second to get 1 out. When it was a tailor-made double play, probably gets you out of the inning. That same 6th inning of which Soto hit the home run, Lindor was picked off because he was adjusting his sliding mitt. He was the second guy today for that to happen. You want to know who the other guy was? Jazz Chisholm Jr. with the Yankees.
Gee, I guess there's something in the water of New York then, huh?
Apparently. Like, what are these players drinking? Seriously, I'd like to know. Limit their alcohol usage. But, oh my. So.
This is what we missed on them.
Not only does he go 0 for 4, then he says in the post-game interview, hats off to them, they played better. Bro, why are you giving us the same crap you gave us last year? It's like, dude, we know you suck in the start of April, but man, like these cookie cutter, smile on the face answers. I've had it up to a year with this crap.
Bro, I felt that.
He was supposed to be, until Cohen said no, the new captain of the Mets. David Bright would be ashamed if Lindor was ever the captain of the New York Mets, especially with the crappy polls.
Should have been Pete.
Agreed. So the problem is, what's the issue now? Is there something going on in the clubhouse? Does he just flat out not care anymore? Like, come on, Lindor. Like, just what is it? What is it? What is it? It just does not make any sense. And then, not to mention, I'm gonna do it. I have no problem doing this. Marcus Semien sucks.
Well, I mean, defensively, he's not bad. Like, this is what I said before.
Because that's all he is, a defense player. He sucks. He's 2 for 20 with 2 RBIs this season. In 6.
So, yeah, I would say that's why. Continue.
Meanwhile, let's go look across Texas. Let's go look across Texas. Who did they get in that trade? Oh, that's right, Brandon Nimmo, who was our top guy in hustling and our top guy in getting on base. But let's do something stupid and go and trade him to the Rangers. Meanwhile, what is Nimmo doing? Let's take a look at what Nimmo's doing. Oh, I would love to know what Nimmo's doing. Nimmo this season.
He batted 1 for 3 today.
Nimmo this season, in 6 games, is batting .360 with a stolen base, a home run, and 4 RBIs. Meanwhile, Semien can't seem to get the bat off his shoulder to save his life. All this stuff that Stearns did, getting Bichette to try and see if he can help out third base. He actually hit the ball today, and he actually has been showing that he's maybe trying more. But Semien is so bad. Like, Simeon's garbage. Luis Robert Jr. is not. He's okay. I know he had a great series against Pittsburgh. I know he's probably going to have more production. I get that. But, I mean, Polanco, I know he's trying to get his stride and all that stuff. Listen, I know it's 6 games. I understand it's 6 games. And I know it's like, dude, why are you yelling and screaming? Why are you ranting? Why are you doing all this stuff? Because Stearns gave up Peter Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, and Starling Marte. But Starling Marte, who the hell cares about Starling Marte anyway? You're 3 guys. Alonso's playing well in Baltimore. Nimmo's playing well in Texas. Diaz is dominating over in Los Angeles. And here you are, 3-3, and you can't seem to know how to hit a baseball.
Don't feel bad. My team is like, what, 1-5, and they don't know how to hit for crap?
Boston's 1. Yeah, the Red Sox are 1-5. It's like, don't come at me for saying that you're exploding and unleashing and bringing all this emotion too quickly. I mean, I know Evan Roberts said on Rico Bronya today that 6 games, and I know that he wanted to go scorched earth on everybody. So I'm going to go scorched earth on everybody, and I think I already did. So there's no need of even talking about anymore. Jeez, I'm like, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. I'm so annoyed that it's the same crap, same team, same dead offense, same old Mets again. Meanwhile, the Miami Marlins are in first place in the NL East.
To be fair, they like you said earlier to me, they played the Rockies and
I get it.
The Rockies and White Sox.
I get it. I get it. It's just it's aggravating. It's annoying. It's just ridiculous. And I understand that, us, the Phillies and Nationals are all 3-3. Meanwhile, the Braves are 4-2. The Marlins are 5-1 and in first place. But this team's going backwards. This team was supposed to have a revamp and, provide more. Meanwhile, Kodai Senga gets DeGrom yesterday, and then Freddie Peralta gets DeGrom today. No run support, no offense, no nothing against guys that have an above 5 ERA. Like, dude, that is aggravating. That is ridiculous. Do I hope they bounce back in San Francisco? You bet your bottom dollar I do. But I do this because I yell, I rant, I did all I did. I know I said I had to be professional, but dude, this loss today just it aggravates me to my very core, and it needed to all get out, because if it wasn't going to get out, then it was just going to steam over, and then it might have been even more harsh than I probably already was. And maybe it's too much. And maybe I said things that maybe a lot of people don't agree with. But those are my thoughts right now. Even though we're 6 games in, and it's like, oh, you're overreacting. Oh, there's this. Oh, there's that. Bro, everybody overreacted after opening day. Everybody said this team's going to the World Series right after you knocked Paul Skeens out of the game on opening day.
Oh, yeah.
So don't come at me saying that I'm ranting too much. Just
I feel like I get that sometimes when I talk about my teams, but that what you're doing right now, that's completely understandable. You're just a very passionate fan that wants the best for your team, but they're not providing you with their best.
Exactly.
That's basically what the Mets are right now. They're a good team on paper, don't get me wrong. They are a good team on paper, but they're not providing for not only themselves but the fans. They are screwing them fans over badly. It's not good. It's really bad considering when you basically like you said before, Senga got DeGrom. Freaking Freddie Peralta also got Jacob DeGrom basically. When does it end? In my opinion, when do you cut the line and say this is enough?
I don't know.
We need to fix this now.
Exactly. And we knew, and
when do you think that point is?
I don't know. And you knew the cost of trading a guy like Simeon who's 35 years old and declining. Like, I understand it was a contract.
You knew the cost when you got rid of Pete Alonso too.
Yeah. Listen, I understood it was a contract dump of trading Nimmo over to Texas. But dude, you could have avoided this by not giving him that big of a contract back in 2022.
Yeah.
8 years.
Well, didn't Nimmo have the leverage though?
Well, back then, Billy Epler was our general manager as well.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
So
he was kind of incompetent.
Yeah. But the next series the Mets are up is against San Francisco. They play the San Francisco Giants starting tomorrow. So we can quickly preview that game, which is going on tomorrow. David Pearson toes the slab for the Mets versus Robbie Ray for the San Francisco Giants. The Giants are 2-4 this season. They recently came off, I believe it was a series loss against the Padres, where apparently Matt Chapman got very pissed off at his first baseman Casey Smith for not catching the ball. So,
does that sound familiar?
Likely.
I'm kidding.
I know, but now you know what you need to work on. And it's bad. You know it's bad when you're listening to. I was listening to Keith Rad and Pat McCarthy on Mets radio on the way home on the bus, and I had to contain myself for not blowing a gasket on the bus because I'm like, oh my gosh, bases loaded, 1 out. In the top of the 11th, we have a chance. And then just everything happens. And then not to mention Soto swinging first pitch when he had this big clutch chance in the top of the 10th and couldn't do anything with it. So, and I completely understood Keith Rad and Pat McCarthy's feelings. They're like, every Mets fan should be thinking, you gotta be kidding me. And it's like, yeah, you gotta be kidding me. You don't score again? Just flat out ridiculousness, crap, just the same old Mets mentality.
If I were the manager of the Mets, I'd be ripping every single player a new one. Every single player in that rotation, I'd be ripping them a new one because how the hell do you let up that many missed opportunities to score? Seriously, how?
I don't know.
But of course, I don't think the manager of the Mets is going to do that because he probably is softer than a cream puff.
Mendy is not. Mendy does not have a backbone. I hate to say, Mendy does not have a backbone.
He is softer than a freaking cream puff, and the Mets need to, if they were able to, get rid of him and then try to find someone that can actually get these players and whip them into shape.
100%. I agree. And then there's another thing that I had to mention. Apparently, because someone looked this up in the Mets group chat that I'm in, I'm going to shout them out because they're great. They have a lot of great conversations in there. someone mentioned the Mets were 1 for 29 with runners in scoring position and left 25 runners on base this series alone.
Oh my god.
You want to talk about bad? So,
That is utterly
oh yeah,
horrendous.
so like like every like person who's saying like trust in Stearns, trust the process. What process are we trusting right now?
Why are we trusting a senile old man?
I don't understand. I do not understand.
Like, I understand that Stearns is only looking out for the best for the team, but my god.
Just just
Like, I'm not even a Mets fan, and this is, like, hurting me.
it's just ridiculous. It's painful. It's just so many things in between that I've already mentioned about, and it's just so many issues with this team that needs to be rectified and needs to be adjusted because
It's because none of the players will take accountability, and the manager that's supposed to be enforcing this accountability on the players doesn't have a backbone to save his
exactly.
life, and just lets the players do whatever the hell they want, and it's affecting the team both in stat
Yeah,
wise, scoring wise, and with like wins and all that.
absolutely.
It's affecting it.
Absolutely.
So, of course, now the manager is going to be untrustworthy. So the players are like, "Oh, he doesn't care. Why should we
Right.
care?" And here's your product that you're getting.
Yep. This crap has to end. This crap has to end. It's been a 40-year drought since the last World Series this team has won. It has been since 2015 since the Mets have been in the World Series. And the last time they were in the
They never,
playoffs was 2024 with a team that we did not think was going to go very far. 2025 was the year. You had this team built up to its very core, and then you collapsed in the
I've
second
been,
half. I understand it's still very much the first half of the season and we're only 6 games in. Drink every single time I said that. I know I said it a million times and I get it. But you have to understand the anger out of Mets fans right now. They were promised something different and they're getting the same result again.
it's because they're drinking. Like some Mets fans are so deluded that they drink the Kool Aid, and this is what
I
happens.
never drank the Kool-Aid. I had them in
No, I'm
third
not saying you.
place.
No, I know. I'm not saying you. Trust me, I know. I also had him in third. But there are some Mets fans out there. They're like, "Oh, like these guys are great." Blah blah blah. Like, dude, no, they're not. They're actually
They're
awful.
terrible.
It's just you're blinded to reality, and won't understand the. It's it's just
It
pathetic.
really is.
It's really just the delusional fans are what make me wanna
I
scream.
understand.
That's
Believe
really
me,
it.
I completely understand the amount of people that think that it's only going to get better. When is it going to get better? I've been a fan for 16 years and I've been praying for it to get better. But yet we have the same old crap where we can't hit against these high ERA pitchers. We can't score with runners in scoring position, and our pitchers are so dominant, yet they have no run support behind them. So you
Mm.
tell me, Cohen, you tell me, Stearns, you tell me, Mets, when is it gonna end? And it better get going in San Francisco and quickly. Even though I don't care if it's the start of April. You got to get this crap together and you got to get this crap together now. But
Agreed.
I would like to thank Brendan Kaiser for coming on to this episode of the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast. Basically, just a rant episode of this series recap against the St. Louis Cardinals. Again, they are back in action against the San Francisco Giants tomorrow at 9:45 Eastern time, unless you're on the West Coast when they start at 6:45 West Coast. What is it? Pacific?
Yeah, 6:45 is correct.
Yeah, 6:45 Pacific time, right? That's the
Yep, Pacific Standard
Yeah,
Time. Yep.
Pacific over in the West. So if you have the gall and feel like making an old cup of joe to stay up and watch the game, then God bless you. But who knows what happens? It's put up or shut up now, Mets. What are you going to do about it? Thank you all for listening to this episode of the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, and we will see you next time for the series recap against the St. Louis Cardinals. Actually, you know what? Because I did this in the last series recap, I completely forgot. So it's like, oh no, you're going to end the outro, and then, oh wait, no. I completely forgot. So,
Also, you said St. Louis Cardinals instead of San Francisco Giants.
good catch. That's why I have you around. So
This is why we have two people on the podcast, not just one.
if I had to pick a star of the series for this series, I'd honestly give it to Devin Williams. I would give Devin Williams the utmost of credit and definitely make him the star of the series. He collected a save, and he was very dominant in his outing today in the bottom of the ninth. And the by far net negative or the low light of the series is Marcus Semien, and it is not even a debate. So
Oh, I thought you were going to say before.
no, it's Semien. It's the entire offense excluding
Yeah.
Soto.
Fair
Entire
enough.
offense excluding Soto. But yes, that is it for this episode of the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast. Thank you all for listening. We will see you next when we will probably likely see you Sunday afternoon or Monday afternoon as we recap the 4-game series between the Mets and the San Francisco Giants in San Francisco. Thank you all for listening to this episode of the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast, and you can put it in the books.